In this video, I'm going to show you how you can find out how much house you can afford. So let's get right into it. So before you actually buy a home, you need to understand these three important buying limits. The first limit would be your max buying limit. The second limit is the comfortable buying limit. And the third limit is the frugal buying limit. Now let me explain these. So the max buying limit is the max amount of home that you could possibly afford. The upside to doing this is that you're able to buy more house. You're able to get a bigger home, a more spacious home, and a nicer home. But the downside is that you're probably not going to be saving any money after every month. You're going to be left with $0 in savings per month. That's the downside. And unfortunately, this is usually the amount that the bank gives you. The bank will say, well, you qualify for up to this amount. Most of the time, the bank will give you the max buying amount. So let's say if you made $60,000 a year, you could qualify for up to $250,000 in home. I'm personally against buying a home at that price point if you're making $60,000, just because it would be so much money and you would literally be saving almost nothing at the end of every month, which is not something that you want for yourself. You want to save money at the end of every month. You want to put towards your retirement and other savings account for the future. Also, if there's an emergency or unexpected financial stress, you might be forced to miss payments or go into other debt that will hurt your financial future. Not to mention, this will also hurt your credit score and prevent you from making large financial purchases in the future. So the second buying limit is the comfortable buying limit. This limit, I believe everyone should abide by. The comfortable buying limit, where you can pay for your home comfortably without having to worry about financial stress and still saving money at the end of every month. A good standard for a buying limit would be spending only 25% of your monthly take home towards your home. So restricting yourself to buying a home that's only going to cost you up to 25% of your monthly budget every month. And honestly, this is actually the first step to potentially saving up to 50% of your monthly income. And imagine how much money you would have to invest in assets that appreciate over time or retirement accounts. Not to mention, this method will also give you a peace of mind every time you make your house payment. You don't want to dread making your house payment every month. You want to be happy in your home. You want to feel accomplished financially. So if you make $60,000 a year, the average comfortable buying limit would be about $130,000 to $160,000. Although that may not buy a lot of home in many cities, it will definitely buy a decently sized home in an area that's outside of major cities. If you need to do a little bit of more commute, that's fine. It's still worth it because you still save so much money. And the third buying limit is the frugal buying limit. And this consists of having a home that's only going to cost you 10 to 15% of your monthly take-home pay. If you're able to accomplish this, you are so ahead financially. You will save so much money. And this is the reason why a lot of people recommend you buying a small home or renting very cheap, so that it's only like 10 to 15% of your monthly take-home pay, and the rest of your 85 to 90% of your money you can invest or save into your retirement accounts or use it to invest in yourself. But I understand that most people cannot accomplish this. So if you're not able to accomplish this with buying a home, you may be able to accomplish this by paying lower rent. Rent on average tends to be cheaper than buying a home, and it does not come with the maintenance costs or any other costs that homes actually come with. So if you're able to achieve this with cheap rent, you would be able to pay off your debt so fast and become financially free so quickly. This will set you up for financial freedom and a good financial future. So of course, every person has a different financial situation, but I highly recommend you choosing the comfortable buying limit or the frugal buying limit, just because it will make buying a home a much more calm and pleasurable experience than rushing to buy a home and buying something that you can barely afford. Yes, it's nice and all. It's a large home, it's a nice area, a nice location, and it's beautiful, but you're not saving any money. You're not investing in your financial future. Think about your future. If you buy a home that you can barely afford, you won't have money left over to pay for the debt that you have. What if your debt is 5% to 10% interest rates? Well, those interest rates are gonna be a lot higher than the interest rate you would get on your home. So it's very smart to buy a home in that comfortable or frugal limit and pay off your debt quickly. And then later on, when you're financially free, then you can save up for a larger, nicer home. And also, before you even buy a home, I would recommend paying your debt off, paying all your consumer debt off, so that way you're in the best financial position when you actually go buy a home. You'll have a higher chance of approval and a better chance of getting a lower interest rate. So if you're not sure how much house you can afford, multiply your monthly income by the percentages of these buying limits that I mentioned in this video. Once you calculate that, subtract that from the amount of money you have left over after doing your monthly budget. If you have money left over, great. If you don't, then that will be too expensive for you. If your monthly budget is all tied up in consumer debt, then you would have to take care of that first before you go buy a home. So once you find out how much house you can afford by using these limits and calculating it with your budget, now it's time to save that 20% in your bank account and get ready for the home buying process. Remember, when you go out to buy your house, you want to do it the right way. You want to save that 20%. You want to know what your buying limit is, hopefully in that comfortable or frugal buying limit, and ultimately just have a good, smooth home buying process. That is what I want for you, and that is why I made this video. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Please let me know down below which buying limit you're in right now, or which one are you looking for. Are you in the frugal buying limit, the comfortable buying limit, or are you at your max right now? Let me know down below. And if you got anything out of this video, please leave a like. And if you want to learn how to be smart with your money and make good financial decisions and purchases, go ahead and subscribe for more videos.